Hi, this is Gary DeTonicourt from morethanasnapshot.com. In this little lesson, I'm going to show you how to do a self-portrait by yourself. It's not as easy as just using your cell phone and doing a little selfie. It's going to require a little bit more setup and patience. So you'll probably want to have a tripod or to be able to put your camera on a stable surface. You'll probably also need either a trigger release or to use your camera's self-timer. So one of the first things you'll need to do is to be able to focus the camera on something. If you're by yourself, find some object to place in front of your camera. In this case, I have someone to stand there, and you'll need to manually focus on that object. So I'll switch the camera to manual focus, and then I'll be able to zoom in with the zoom in function of my LCD screen. And I'll look carefully at where I want to focus and then use the focusing ring until it is in focus, and then I can zoom back out. Once the object is in focus, you can set the rest of the settings in your camera. For this shot, I'm going to use aperture priority, and I have enough light, so I'm going to use ISO 200. And I'm shooting one person, so I'm going to use a wide open f-stop of f2.8. Maybe since I'm focusing on a very thin slice and I'm going to have to jump in the picture, I might stop it down to f4. It'll give me a little more room for error with my depth of field. All right, the white balance I will set for shade, since the subject is in the shade. ISO 200 f4, and it's giving me a shutter speed of 1/800th of a second. So now my settings are pretty much ready to go. I need to turn on my self-timer. Hit the drive mode button. All right, I set the timer. Now I will press the shutter button and then jump into the shot. I'll make sure I'll stand in the same place as where the other object was. And I should have my shot. I'll come and check the settings for sharpness and clarity and exposure. As you can see, the shot is in focus, but it's too dark. So I'm going to use exposure compensation and dial it up to +1 and try that. Using the timer, I'll jump into the shot again. And then I'll check my shot. All right, if I hit the info button again, I can see a histogram. And the histogram looks pretty good. I exposed a little bit to the right, and that should be a fine shot. The only other thing I can try is adjust the composition so that I'm not directly in the middle. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit to the left and zoom in a little bit, get a little bit tighter shot, and then I'll hit the shutter and try the shot again. Check the shot. Yes, I am off to the side now and a little bit tighter. And the histogram looks good. Maybe I'll try it one more time for a tighter shot. Check the results again. I think that's pretty good. I look like I have the right exposure on me. I'm in a good spot in the picture. I have a nice background and I'm in sharp focus. So hopefully this lesson will help you plan out your self-portrait.
If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe down at the bottom so you can see our future videos. Also, you might want to check out the show notes to see my other websites like morethanasnapshot.com, where you can take my online photography class. Also, like us on Facebook so you'll know what's new with morethanasnapshot.com.